Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. As you can see here, we're starting things off a little differently. We're doing a vlog stylish video here again. And if you watched my last video that I started off like this, you might have an idea as to what we are doing today. I thought it would be fun to do another declutter with you guys. I had a lot of fun doing the first one, and I'm in need of doing another one, and I know you guys really loved that video, so I wanted to create another one here for you guys. You may also remember that we moved recently, so I thought this would be a good opportunity for you guys to see the current new recording space. So I'll flip you around here in a little bit so you guys can see that. I do have plans to change things up here a little bit, hopefully in the near future. I'm not on any rush really to get a lot of that started, but I'll show you what the current setup is looking like here, and then we will hop into our declutter. So I'll get you turned around here. Alrighty, and so this is the recording room. Sorry about the squeaky floors. But this is the recording space. I'll come in here with you guys and we'll kind of just circle around the room real quick. So obviously where we record, we'll circle back to that here in a little bit. Also I store my shoes in here. I've got my alley bags up there. We've got a closet back here that just has a bunch of music instrument stuff in there. Working on getting some sound echo fixing going on in here. So I've got some foam that I've been trying to get to deflate, but it's been a little bit of a struggle there. And then we've just got some extra cords and wires back there. And of course we've got the good old recording space. So we've got the same little holder from back in the apartment that I'm still storing all of my makeup in. We did upgrade from using the dining table to actually having a desk here. This is one that we just got from IKEA, and it's got a very nice little piece here that pulls out that I can put some extra stuff on. Right now I've just got some brushes that I need to clean. Also upgraded to a new chair here, also from IKEA. And for the most part, for the most part here, the recording process setup is all the same from the previous at my apartment. So I'm using a lot of the same equipment. So not a lot of that is different. If you're curious about some of that, I'll make sure to link that video down below or at the end of the video here as well, so you can see that. But this is currently how we record. I did get a new light just to help with some of the lighting here. But yeah, we will go ahead and get set up here and we will start diving into the declutter. Alrighty, so I thought for this declutter I would do a similar thing from the previous one when I started going through like the lip products. I'm just like showing you the products in front of my hands here. So I've set my camera at an angle down at my desk. I moved the yellow pad that I usually have because that thing's getting very dirty. And these are just markers that I usually have my camera aligned at so that the camera is for the most part in the same place each time I record. So that's what those will be. But I thought it would work out a little bit better for me to just kind of show the drawers and move them in here as I go through them and go that way. And then at the end of the declutter, I'll go ahead and go back to vlog style and show you what the drawers look like afterwards. So I'm gonna start with some of the stuff that I keep on my desk, which is a lot of like the individual shadow stuff and my lip products. Those don't have a place in the drawers right now. So I'm gonna start with this guy right here. Not sure if you remember this at all from the declutter video. I intentionally put some of these like individual shadows into this container here to try and get more use out of them. And I've been leaving it on my desk to try and get more use out of them, but I don't know what it is. I just still don't reach for a lot of these very often. So hopefully we either get rid of things in hopes that other people will use them more than I will, or hopefully me going through it here now will again try to urge me to use some of these products more. So this is basically a lot of individual eyeshadows. I've got like some of these like eye pencils in here. I've got lashes in here. Got a couple of like extra puffs and things like that. So we will dig through this here first. A lot of me going through the products will likely be sped up. If there's anything that I need to go into detail on though, I'll maybe slow down a little bit during the video. But most of this will be sped up, and then I'll show you kind of afterwards what we get rid of and what we hold on to. So let's start with this guy here. All right, so from that first container of like other individual eye products, this is what I'm gonna be getting rid of here. This is just like a loose, very loose ColourPop pigment that I just never use. Got a brush from the mini Benefit bronzer that I'm just not gonna ever use. And then I've got the cream Surats, which I very much enjoyed. I don't use them very often, so hopefully somebody else will get better use out of these. An individual L'Oreal shadow that I just don't grab for. And then a good amount of lashes here that I've been trying to get some use out of, but the ones here in particular are just a little too dramatic for me. I went and I held on to my, is it Kiss? Yes, I held on to the Kiss lashes. The ones that I have there are just a little bit more natural, so that when I do want to wear a lash, those are something I'm more comfortable with wearing. So I'm gonna get rid of all of these more dramatic lashes and just some of the adhesives that I'm not using for them. All right, so that is those individual eye products. Now we're gonna go into lips. And so I'll just kind of pull all of this in here real quick. This thing has been very unorganized. We've got basically our lipsticks, our liquid lips or lip glosses here, and then eyeliners, but I've got a couple of lip products in there as well. So let's start digging into these and figure out what we're gonna hang on to. I'm gonna start with the liners, I think. All right, so the lip liners are complete. I ended up getting rid of 4 of them here. Most of the shades here that I'm getting rid of are just very similar tones to ones that I already have in here. And I just decided to hold on to the one that just performed a little bit better when I swatched it here on the back of my hand. So yeah, and just between these ones versus what I have in here, I just performance-wise probably would not reach for these ones, so I'm going to set these aside, and these are the ones that I will be hanging on to. So next, let's dive into this guy here. This is liquid lips, lip glosses, anything that comes in a container like this that has like a doe foot applicator. And yeah, we'll go through this guy. So out of this drawer, didn't get rid of as much, basically just getting rid of these 2 J-Cat ones. I love these colors. The formula is just a little odd on them. I like how they look on the lips, but they sit a little dry. And they have a little bit of a funny smell and texture to them. So unfortunately, I will be passing this on, but I still have a good amount of lip products here that I did swatch that I am happy to still have in my collection. So just these 2 guys. All right, and the last lip drawer is the lipsticks, or like the bullet lips, or if I have like lip crayons, things like that. So we will dig into this one here next. Okay, the lips are done. Ended up getting rid of 3 products here. Originally, I was just gonna get rid of these 2, but when I realized I only had, I was short on 1 slot, I decided to push myself to get rid of another one here as well. So we will also be getting rid of this one as well. Again, not as many lip products as I thought that I might be getting rid of. But these are definitely products that when I swatch them, aside from these guys, if you guys have recently watched my Be Bella Cosmetics video, these still are not that great. The packaging is just phenomenal. So that's what these are for, but I'm glad that I pushed myself to get all of the lip products to sit here, and I will be passing these 3 along. All right, so we are diving into the drawers here now. We are starting with the drawer that has brows, mascara, and liners in it. This is the only drawer that I have like bins for in it, so I just decided to pull the bins out rather than the entire drawer. But we will get started on these ones. I definitely have way too many mascaras that I need to downsize on, and probably have a couple of pencils in here for sure that I can pass on as well. So I'm going to start with the brows. I don't think there's going to be as many products in here that I will pass on, so that one should go fairly quick for us, and we'll go from there. Okay, so brows, that one was pretty quick. Still got a couple of clear brow gels here that I'm hanging onto, and 2 tinted brow gels that I'm hanging onto. And I guess, yeah, this guy is a pencil and clear brow gel in one. Really love this Soap and Glory? Yeah, really love this Soap and Glory product. And a couple of pencils here as well that I am very much enjoying. And just getting rid of 2 pencils and 3 tinted gels here. Okay, next let's go into liners. This is a combination of pencil liners and liquid or like pen liners. So yeah, let's start going through this guy. Okay, so 4 liners, I did not do very good. I'm ending up just getting rid of this 1 product. There's definitely some colored pencil liners in here that I'm not using a lot, but I'm trying to push myself to use them. Hopefully I'll get some use out of those soon. If not, I know that I need to start passing these along to somebody else who may hopefully end up using them. But honestly, for most of the liquid liners in here, they are for sure liners that I've been really, really happy with. So it is a lot of liquid liners. That collection has definitely grown very quickly for me. It's more than one person needs, but these are actually liners that I have very much been enjoying. The pencil liner is another situation that I don't use them very often. but I'm trying to push myself to use some of the fun colors and I just haven't yet. So just one product out of this one so far. And the last bin for that drawer is the mascara. Hoping I can get rid of a couple of these, but I'm already seeing on the top my definite favorites. So hopefully as we make our way near the bottom, there'll be some that somebody else will get some better use out of. Okay, so 4 mascaras here. The ones here on the top are the definite ones that I love. These are the ones that I'm going to be hanging on to. I've got 2 ColourPop color mascaras in here that I also enjoy. Similar to the colored liners, I need to get more use out of them. They work super well. I don't know, I don't use colored mascara on a regular basis. So these are yeses that I will be hanging on to. These guys right here are the ones that I will be passing along. And then these ones here, I need to test again. I think these 2 are very good. I just need to use them a couple more times before I'm sure. So I'm gonna be hanging on to those for now. And I think the Surratt one is one that I might just need to end up passing on, but I am gonna hold on to it just a little bit longer. If you guys remember from my Surratt video, this is the one that has that super cool and super fun like metal applicator. It's very, very interesting. I used it again a little less than a month ago here, and it honestly doesn't compare to my favorite mascaras, but it is just such an interesting thing. So I'm gonna hang on to it here again and see if it's being so unique, if it is worth holding on to here still. So that's what these 3 products are, but definitely have my favorites here still that I will be hanging on to, and I will be passing on these guys. Okay, so here's the first official like drawer that doesn't have any separators or anything in it. Hopefully you can see a decent amount of it there. This drawer has my setting sprays. It has primers and foundations and concealers. For the most part, when we did our last declutter, it's fairly stayed organized. But as more products have been added to this bin, it's getting really hard to hold on to things. So I definitely need to let a couple things go from this one. I know it's gonna be pretty tough, but hoping I can do some good clean out with this one. So let's go ahead and start with, I think, the setting spray. Setting sprays. This is really tough. These are the ones that I will definitely be hanging on to. This bottle is not actually a Smashbox setting spray. It's kind of just a concoction of setting sprays that I am pretty much to the bottom of the bottle on, and I just kind of dump them in here and use this concoction every now and then. I don't know. Kind of a weird thing, but that's what that is. Some of these here are really tough. This guy's empty. I just dumped the rest of that into here. This guy right here, I will for sure, he used an okay amount of him as well. This guy for sure, I think I'll be getting rid of. Not grabbing for that one very often anymore. This Believe Beauty one is very nice. Sorry, you can't even see that. This Believe Beauty one here is very nice. It's a little bit of a tricky one. It just kind of has a very odd smell to it. And when you spray it, too much of it, it just starts making you cough and stuff. So I will be passing on that one. These ones are super tough, where it's just like, they could be fine. I'm just not grabbing for them very often. I know that out of these ones here, I have been enjoying these ones a lot more. I've got them kind of divided of like dewy, this one right here, which you can't even see. Man, come on, Mary, get this stuff in the frame. So these guys right here are more dewy setting sprays that I've been liking. This one is just a very fresh spray. And I've got my Catrice one here, which is probably one of my more all-time favorite ones. Dewy, but also does a really good job of holding. And then these ones right here, aside from the Smash bottle, are the ones that are definite, like, good, strong hold products. So these ones will be definites. I think I just have to pass on these ones just because I know that I'm using these ones more for sure. And these ones could definitely be really good ones, and hopefully they do get passed on to somebody who will get a little bit more use out of them than I am, because I know that I'm more definitely gravitating towards these ones right now. Next, let's go on to primers, because there are way too many of those as well. Okay, I believe that is all of the primers. These are the ones I will be holding on to. Most of these are definitely ones that I've been enjoying. I do want to try to get a little bit more use out of this one. I think it has similar glowing features as to this Maybelline one, which has been a very popular one that a lot of people have been liking. Definitely have a lot of my pore filly primers here that I'm very much enjoying. These two are more of a tacky, sticky primer that I really like. And then when it comes to these tube ones, I'm just not grabbing for them very often anymore. A lot of them, like this one for sure, and this one here, I remembered super duper enjoying. I'm just not reaching for them very often anymore. So I'm holding on to two of them here to try to get some use out of. But I will be letting these ones go. And then I just don't use a lot of these like dropper primers, so I will be passing on these guys as well. All right, next let's do foundation. So for foundations, I don't think I'm going to be passing on very many. These guys right here are definitely ones that I have enjoyed a lot. There is this Revlon one here that I do want to use a little bit more. Try to, you know, get a little bit more of a feel for it. I think I ended up really liking it in the video. Can't quite recall. So I want to hang on onto that one to get a little bit more use out of. However, I will be passing on these guys right here. There's the Puder Stick Foundation. I'm really just not grabbing for that one anymore. There is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but for some reason, I just really don't like how tacky it feels on my face. So I will be getting rid of that one. And these Surat drops, I've used a couple of times, but for the most part, I'm just struggling to open it. So it's not worth, oh, there we go. It opens that time. But now that I got it open, I don't know. I'll hang on to it. I just sometimes struggle to open it, so therefore I'm not using it as much as I should. Packaging is just really tough to open up sometimes, so I guess we'll hang on to that one for now. But it gives me any more trouble, it's going away. So these two products will be products I will be getting rid of, and the rest of them I will be hanging on to. All right, and the last thing that we have in here is concealers. Okay, didn't do so well on concealer either. I'm really just getting rid of these two products. This Complex Cultures one is just a little too yellow. And then I really don't reach for this corrector very often. But out of these, there's just these two products here that I definitely need to use a couple more times. I believe that for sure the Revolution one I remember enjoying. The Revlon one I definitely need to try out a couple more times, but these ones here for sure I definitely know that I very, very, very much enjoy, so I will be hanging on to those. And then the B Bella Cosmetics one is a fairly new one as well that I have been enjoying, so I will be hanging on to that one as well. So just two products again. Definitely should have tried a little bit more downsizing, but that's okay. So I will go ahead and get these packed in here. Oh, and then the other products I think I'm just gonna choose to pass on as well. If you remember from my previous declutter is I had these makeup, cheap Halloween makeups in here that I held on to. I really didn't use them this year for Halloween at all, so I think I am just going to get rid of these as well. And if I need to purchase more Halloween makeup, I'll either get some cheap stuff again when Halloween swings around or actually get some good stuff. So I'm gonna pass on these and I will get this cleaned up. I will show you the after of the drawer at the end. So I will get this cleaned up and we will grab the next drawer. Next we've got eyeshadow palettes. So I did switch around my eyeshadow drawer and my drawer with my blushes, bronzers, and highlighters. This used to be in a wider drawer, but I did switch it to a smaller drawer. And it is definitely still super duper full. So we will be going through this and hopefully getting rid of a good amount. I am still even looking at it and I'm gonna have such a hard time with going through this one, but I definitely need to be getting rid of some of these palettes for sure. Okay, so I haven't made any decisions yet on this, but this is so tricky. This is definitely a keep. I might have to talk this one out loud a little bit more than the other ones. This is forever a keep. Tati Beauty will miss you so much. You are such a phenomenal palette. And then this palette right here is such a tricky one for me to get rid of. Honestly, I only now go into this palette for this white and this blue. And that's basically because none of my other shadows or none of my palettes quite have colors compared to those. I would have hoped that my big BH Cosmetics palette in here that I showed right before, I'll throw it out here again so you guys know what I'm talking about. This big boy right here, I love this palette so much, but it doesn't have a solid white and it doesn't have that vibrant blue either. So that is a huge reason why I hang on to that ColourPop shadow, because I don't have really any other whites. I had one other white in my Florence by Mills, but that one did not perform well at all. So I mean, a lot of the shades in here are beautiful. Like this green, ooh, I love that green color. But honestly, when I think of this palette, I think of this white and I think of this blue. So holding on to that guy. These, I think most of these are, yeah, these are all for sure yeses. I love these square palettes. I love this guy. He's a huge favorite. I don't use this one very often, but just something about having the colored palettes. I would love to get more of these colored ones by Huda or even ColourPop. They're just so pretty. And then honestly, some of these ColourPop Animal Crossing. I am obsessed with Animal Crossing. Man, they're so pretty. I did individual looks, which I never ever posted with these, and I was so happy with the looks that I created with them. Oh, they're so hard to get rid of. I'm gonna hang on to them. I don't even think you saw any of those little views I just did a little bit ago there. I'm gonna hang on to them. This is a for sure hold on to. These are definites. Let's see here. These are palettes I don't know if I'll ever be able to get rid of. They are two of my first ever favorite palettes. I call it the chocolate covered raspberry combo. It's got the Tarte in Bloom mattes here. And I don't know, it very faintly still smells kind of like chocolate. And of course the Too Faced Razzle Dazzle. And so this thing smells like raspberries. So it's my chocolate raspberry combo. I don't know if I can ever get rid of those. It might be time to finally pass on this guy here. I love this palette. I love the shades in it. I'm just not grabbing for it as much as I need to. This color right there is so pretty. I think it needs to go on to somebody else. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. Same with these two. These two have very similar vibes. This Shauna B, which I've only have like 2 products, which was this and a blush palette of theirs, which I'll show you here. They're so good. I'm not using them very often. And they're such good basic eyeshadow palettes. I think they would be good for somebody who does minimal makeup, everyday stuff that might be really good. So I'm gonna pass on those as well. I'm gonna pass on these guys as well. I love these little CoverGirl quads, but I'm not using it as much as I used to anymore. And again, formula for these CoverGirls are really good, but I'm just not using this very often, so we'll get rid of that. These are very neutral palettes. Of course, I still have my Tarte, which is very neutral shades, but man, they're still also just so pretty. I think for sure it's time to get rid of Essence. It's a beautiful palette. This shade is so pretty, but I'm just not grabbing for it, so I think I need to let somebody else have that one. I'm gonna hang on to these a touch longer. I do really like them. This right here, definite keep. This is a beautiful palette. I'm not using it as much as I used to, but this shade, that shade, all super duper beautiful. Hanging on to that guy. This is also such a beautiful palette. This one has such fun metallics in it. I don't grab for it. I think this would be such a good gold. I did a New Year's Eve look the other day. I should have used this gold instead. I bet this would have worked so much better with a liquid, like a medium base to like liquefy it for like the gold liner that I did. I'll try to pop up a photo of the look that I created. Let's hang on to this one again. Let's try to use that one more often. We did our Bee Bella video recently and I held on to this one. I haven't grabbed for it again since that video yet. This one's a tough one too. I want to say yes. Some of the particular colors in here, like these golds, are so pretty. The performance of these is so fun. Let's hang on to it for a little bit longer. I don't think it's going to be a palette that I anymore do very specific looks with. It might just be a palette that I grab for specific things, like this glitter. That is such a beautiful red. There's not a lot of palettes that have a red like that one in them. So I think it's going to be a palette used for very specific things. So we're going to hang on to that. So these are the palettes that we will be getting rid of. Again, a lot of these, I mean, they're great palettes. I just am not grabbing for them as much as I should, so hopefully I will give them to somebody who will get a lot more use out of them. Definitely still have just a pile, just way too many eyeshadows in here. Here is the last big drawer. I don't think I'll be able to get this entire thing into full focus for you, but we've got our setting powders, we've got blushes sort of in here, bronzers have kind of mixed in with each other, highlighters, keep on sliding, Mary, highlighters are mixed in here, and more on this side is more palettes, face palette related things. So let's dig into this one. Let's start with face palettes. Okay, so for face palettes, I will be hanging on to these ones, similar to the Tarte and Too Faced eyeshadow. This one is just like a first product for me that I don't know if I will ever get rid of. I don't use it anymore, but a long, long time ago, this highlighter and this bronzer were my everyday, and so I don't know if I can ever get rid of this guy. And then that Shauna B, was talking about it when I was going through the eyeshadows. This face palette is amazing. This blush is definitely one of my favorites, and these highlighters work so, so well. And I don't know if I will ever be able to get rid of this Rachel palette. I love the highlighters in here, so I will definitely continue to use this guy. This is just such a nice palette to have on hand. I personally only really use the lightest one here, but I have done a small, very small amount of like makeup for people's weddings, or if they just want me to do their makeup. And this is such a nice thing to have on hand for doing other people's makeup, just these different shades. Plus, some of these deep shades could be really pretty on the eyes as well. So I definitely love having this in my collection. Still hanging on to the B Bella blushes. I love these. I just compared it here to the LA Colors blush, which they're definitely different, but comparing the two palettes, this has some shimmer in it, this one doesn't, so I definitely will use these more matte blushes versus these more shimmery blushes that are in the LA Colors palette. And of course, still have this Believe Beauty palette as well. This little trio is just so good, and this highlighter is so nice. I need to be using this highlighter so many more times. Loving that. So those are the Yes products. I had showed you the LA Girls one that we're getting rid of. Glow Squad. I believe the highlighters were really, really pretty. I'm just really not grabbing for them very often, so hopefully somebody else will get better use out of those. And then we've got these two opening palettes like this. Really just not reaching for this one too often either. And this was one that was handed down to me from a friend that I also really just have not been reaching for often. I think the bronzers in here are just a little too deep, so I will be getting rid of that one as well. Okay, I believe the next thing in here is going to be blushes. Okay, so for blushes, I really don't think I'm gonna get rid of very many here. Pretty much just this butter bronzer one. This was another product that was passed on to me from a friend, and I haven't really used it, so I will not hold on to this guy. Other than that, I do really like the collection I have here. I have some blushes in here for sure, like this vibrant pink and this deep, beautiful color here that I don't use very often, but I remember telling myself when I tried them, they were beautiful. They're not colors I reach for very often, but I need to use them because I remembered them actually looking really, really pretty. So forcing myself to hold on to those and try to get more use out of them. Other than that, a good amount of these other products sitting here are ones that I do use quite often, and I love the colors, so we will be hanging on to these. And also, of course, fairly new to my collection are the Rare Beauty cream blushes. These are amazing. Next, we will grab, let's do bronzer. quickly before we go into bronzers here, there were 2 blushes I missed. There's this Essence one I am definitely hanging on to, and I will be passing on this Florence by Mills one. This did not perform as well as I was hoping for it to, so we will be getting rid of that. Okay, hopefully things didn't shift around too much here. Had to do a little bit of a battery swap. So for bronzers here, we'll go through these here real quick. All right, that was super duper quick. There are 2 bronzers that I will be passing on. I'm gonna be finally passing on the Amuse one. I very much enjoyed this. Was one of the first videos that we did together. It is such a great bronzer, but I am finding other bronzers here now that I am grabbing for a lot more over this one here now. So I am going to pass this one along. And then also I have this contour stick here from Tresique that I'm just really not using. I think this is just a little bit too deep and too warm to use as a contour for me. So I will be passing on that. I do have a contour stick that I use quite often. It's a NYX one here. I've had this thing for way too long, but I do very much enjoy this one. So holding on to that cream product. And then all of these other ones here, I am definitely still getting a lot of use out of. Loving the Juvia's a lot. Aesthetica is probably my current go-to favorite for bronzers. But the Believe and Revlon and these more glowy ones, I'm definitely never thought I'd enjoy glowy products as much when it comes to bronzers, but those guys for sure are very, very nice. And then as well, these guys are nice as well. Now we will grab highlighters. Alrighty, so for highlighter, I tried to go really quick, make quick decisions. These top 4 here for sure are my favorites. Makeup Obsession, you guys know I love this one. I'm very sad, I'm pretty sure Makeup Obsession doesn't exist anymore, so I don't know if I'll ever be able to get this highlighter again. It's so pretty. One of my favorite highlighters. I've talked about it quite often, and honestly, these 2 for sure are very similar, and the Sheet Glam one is just super, super beautiful. So these are amazing. Wet n Wild, Revlon, these are also super great highlighters that I get a lot of use out of. And then when it comes to these ones down here, there's just these 3 here that I'm just not grabbing for very often. I know that this Juvia's one is very, very pretty. I'm just not grabbing for it enough. I've had this one for quite some time. I need to pass it along. This Lottie London one I believe is really pretty. This one is an individual highlighter, and I'm just not reaching for it enough because I don't have a proper palette for it. So I will be giving that one to somebody else. And then I will be passing on this Florence cream highlighter. I'm not using that. And then I've got 2 other highlighter sticks here as well. I remembered enjoying them. I'm not reaching for them. I'm enjoying these highlighters just on their own. Typically I use a highlighter cream as like a base, but I have not been reaching for these, so I will be passing these along. And now we will go into setting powders. Oh, there was one more highlighter. This other highlighter, it's technically a blush, but it's a MAC. Call it their Beaming Blush. I use this as a highlighter. I also very much enjoy that. Okay, and so I went through the powders here fairly quickly as well. These are the ones I'll be getting rid of. I'm just not grabbing for this Pudere one very often. And same with this LA Girls one. I'm just not grabbing for that one as often either, so I will be passing along those. However, I do love my Wet n Wild and my Coty Airspun. Those are definites that I love so, so much, so we'll be hanging on to those. And then these 3 right here, I definitely enjoy. I've talked about the AOA ones quite often. You've got your brightening setting powder, and then you've also got your translucent mattifying setting powder. These in combo work so well together, and the size is just so nice that it works so well for traveling. And again, with this Juvia's one, it's just such a good, small, compact size. I love that one for traveling. And then if you want a larger duo to the AOA, you've got the e.l.f. Translucent powder and your Chic Glam brightening powder. These work pretty similar, honestly, to the AOA. So I like using these two in combination when I'm home, and I love using these two in combination when I am on the road. And then I only have one pressed powder. I'm not one who uses a lot of pressed powders, but I have held on to the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot mattifying powder here. I still often use a lot of my loose powders, but this one is also super, super nice for like a last setting powder. Just a quick little last touch up after you've set your face with setting spray, just to help do one final smooth out. This has been very, very nice. So that is this entire drawer. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one cleaned up, and I will give you another quick wrap around to how the drawers look now. Okay, so before I actually show you the drawers, how they look afterwards, I thought I would show you my little get rid of station. When I go back into vlog style, I'll show this off to you a little bit better here, but basically next to my recording desk, I've got a little shoe cabinet that has a bunch of these little individual bins here where I put the products in so that if I have friends or family who ever come over and they're looking for a product, I let them go through this bin here to see if they'll find any products that maybe they might get more use out of. If there's anything in here that's not good, gross, overused, that I don't want to pass along, then I will just toss it out. But there are definitely still some products in here that I've minimally used that I feel a friend or family member can get some more use out of. So I'm going to quickly take you through me organizing this. And again, when we go into vlog style, I'll show it off for you guys. So let's go ahead and start filling these bins. Alrighty, so we are back in vlog style here. I will go ahead and get you turned around so you can see what the drawers and the lip products and the stuff on my desk is looking like now. Okay, so turning you around here, I just went ahead and quickly kind of reset things up how it usually is when recording. Let's go ahead and start with this little section here that I was just going through. This is my little declutter, get rid of area. So we've now filled these bins up again. So I'll just quickly take you through what we've got here. This is the eyeshadow. So I've got the individual eyeshadows in here, plus some of the palettes. They don't fit very well in here sometimes, and they're a little big. Then we've got that one eyeliner. We've got mascaras there. Next, we've got brow products, primers, concealers and correctors, foundations. These are just the face palettes, but I've set them on top where the setting powders are. And then bronzer, highlighter is here. Then blush is here. Lip pencils, lipsticks and liquid lips, setting sprays, and this was some more of that miscellaneous stuff. Pretty much just the lashes and their adhesive and that little brush that I'm not using. So glad to have these filled up here again to pass along to friends and family. I did just recently, before Thanksgiving, emptied this out completely. Threw out the stuff that definitely was sitting too long and brought home to my family the products that I thought could maybe still get some use out of. So glad to get this filled up here again for some more people. Hopefully they will enjoy these products as well. And then I'll take you on over to the desk here. So the first thing that we went through was this guy, those individual shadows and lashes and stuff. I did hold on to one set of lashes down here. It is the Kiss lashes. And then I've got a couple of individual shadows that I still need to get a lot of use out of, but I do use these sometimes. We've got our little puffs. We've got some liquid like shimmer shadows here, and just some of the adhesives and lash adhesive, eye primers, and then a eyeliner eyeshadow medium to make it more liquidy. So keeping that on my desk here again in hopes to still try and get more use out of the products that are in here. And then of course we've got our lips. I'm very happy with how this is looking here now. I've got the lip crayon or lip pencils here that I enjoy. Back here, these are just like squeaky floor, my goodness. Back here, these are just like lip balms or lip primers that I'll use before going in with a lip product. Of course, we've got the beautiful but not so fabulous on the lips, Bee Bella lips there. And then of course, these are some of the bullet lips that I do very much enjoy. Happy that I was able to get them to fit in all of the slots here. So loving that. And then of course, in this drawer, we've got liquid lips and lip glosses. So I believe all along the side is more of the liquid lip products. And then everything on this side is like a lip oil, lip gloss, more of a sheer formula is what I have on this side. And then that bottom drawer is the lip liners. Looking at these liners in here, these are definitely liners that I've been loving. Love the performance that these liners have. Held on to a couple of reds, couple of pinks. I've got my favorite, like more Wet n Wild orangey-ish color. And then of course the good nudes in there as well. Alrighty, and then we will make our way into the drawers. So similar to when we did our declutter before, we did not go through this drawer. This has just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in it and a couple of products that I have hidden for upcoming videos. And then the first one that we had gone through together was this drawer here. Hopefully the lighting is okay for all of this. So we went through and we have the liquid and pencil liners here. I kept a lot of the liquid ones in the front because these are the ones that I definitely use a lot more. And then we've got the pencils in the back here with a sharpener, and hopefully I'll start to get a little bit more use out of some of these more colorful pencils. And then we've got mascaras in the front here. We've definitely got the ones that I get a lot more use out of. And then we got these three back here that I want to use a little bit more. And then of course we've got brows. Pretty much all of the brow products in here are favorites for sure. I do a fairly decent job when it comes to rotating on the brows. These are definitely all products in here that I have been super duper enjoying when it comes to my brows. The next drawer is more of the face products. So we've got the setting sprays, primers, foundations, and concealers. And this drawer definitely has a lot more room in it. I feel I did a pretty decent job with getting rid of a good amount of setting sprays and getting rid of primers. Could have done a little bit better when it came to the concealers and the foundations, but these are genuinely actually products that I am really, really enjoying. So yeah, I don't know what else to say on this one, but happy there's more space in here. Happy I was able to get rid of some products that I'm not using. So yeah. And next we have the eyeshadows. This one, I didn't go back and shift things around too much to have it sit too nicely. There's definitely a pretty deep stack here still of eyeshadows. But man, I love all of these eyeshadows so much. I ended up getting rid of maybe 3. I'll have to take a look back here again as to how many we got rid of. But yeah, this one is still definitely pretty heavy, pretty full. But there is a little bit more space in here again for some new product. And so, yes. And our last drawer. This guy definitely still looks a bit crazy, and yep, I need to figure out some way to keep everything divided here a little bit better. But we've got setting powders off on the side here, bronzers going here, highlighters for the most part going wee, sliding around everywhere. Highlighters here, blushes here, and our good old face palette here. Yes, this is again still a very, very crazy drawer, but when I look at these products, I definitely love a lot of them, and I am happy to have them in my collection. If you guys, for deep drawers like this, if you have any recommendations on separators or something, I've done minimal search, honestly, on something that would be good for separating these out. I want something tall enough and open at the top. I definitely need to do something with this drawer for sure to keep these a little bit more organized, but that's okay. Love this drawer. Happy that we got rid of a couple of products. And yeah, I think that is all of the products. I'll go ahead and flip you back around here. Alrighty, so yeah, that is gonna be our declutter. I'm happy that I got to do another declutter for you guys. Hopefully this will be a push to do a little bit more in this room. I wanted to get that declutter out of the way so I could work on maybe doing some rearranging soon. I've got those foam pads that I want to put up to kind of help with some echoing. And even look into doing some painting to the walls here as well. Don't know when I'll get to some of that, but hopes that this kind of jump starts me moving and getting started on some of those products. So I hope you guys enjoyed this declutter. If you want to see a little bit more behind the scenes things like this, or me doing some of the rearranging in this room, like this video or let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. And yeah, that is going to be everything for this video. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you guys can be notified of the next time I post. And that's going to be everything. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.